Hello. Today we're going to go over writing linear equations to parallel and perpendicular lines. What do we know about parallel and perpendicular? Well, what we do know about parallel is that all it does mean is the same slope. And what does perpendicular mean? Perpendicular is going to be the negative reciprocal. And I just call it the negative flip, just to make things a little easier on you. So that is all that we're going to do. And then we're going to write the final equation or answer in y equals mx plus b, where m is my slope, as we've gone over before, and b is my y-intercept. So let's start with number 17. First, we write the point that we're given. Next, what we need to do is find a slope. Right now, we don't know what it is, but I do know that I'm parallel to this line. So let's rewrite that line. Well, let's find m and b of this line. And we can see, well, m is just the number in front of the x, just my mx. This one is that invisible 1. Next, my b would just be that 3 right there. Now, when we're talking about parallel and perpendicular, do I care about the y-intercept of this line? No, I do not. All I'm going to care about is the slope, because a parallel line means the same slope. So we found the m for this line. Now we need to find my m. So we're going to bring it down and we're going to write parallel slope, which is the my m, the one we're looking for right now. Might get confusing. We'll just keep it parallel slope. And that would be exactly the same as it is. So what's parallel to 1? Just 1. So that is my m for the equation we are solving for. Next, all I have to do is start filling this out, right? And notice I need to solve for my b next. So I'm going to plug in the points -2, -5 into our x and our y. -5 for y, -2 for x, and all you're going to do is solve for b. That is all. So let's start slowly cleaning this guy up. We will move the 2 over by adding it to both sides, because what you do to one side, you must do to the other. We solve b is equal to -3, and I write my final equation, y equals 1, which you don't have to put if you don't want to, -3. So let's clean it up, x minus 3. Is that the same line as y equals x plus 3? No. Do they have the same exact slopes? Yes. So we are parallel, and that is our answer. Let's do 18 very quickly. Let's put a little line here. So for 18, what we need to recognize is what is the slope first. So this one's a little tricky, right? Because we have y equals 3. Well, if we have y equals 3, we do know that that is going to be a horizontal line. That is y equals 3. And I still cannot draw graphs properly on this program. There we go. So y equals 3. We know that a horizontal line, the slope is equal to 0. So if I want something parallel, my slope that I'm looking for, so the parallel slope, will also be 0, the exact same, since it's parallel. After that, we are just going to plug in y equals 0x. Oops, that was terrible parentheses placement. 0x plus b. And we are going to plug in for -4 in order to solve for b. Doesn't matter what we plug in for x because 0 times anything is 0. And we see b is equal to -4. We will then rewrite the equation. Y equals 0x minus 4. Clean it up. Y equals -4. And you can test it by graphing 1, 2, 3, 4. This would be our line right here. Oops. Let's try that one more time. Line right there. And you can see that these two lines are clearly parallel. So that will work for that. Let us move on to the perpendicular lines. For perpendicular lines, again, our process remains the same. My m first recognized is the number in front of the x, -3/8. The m that I want will be the negative flip, or the perpendicular, which is going to be equal to 8/3, and it's going to be positive. Take a look. All I did was flip it and just change the sign. That's it. Next, we're going to continue doing what we've been doing. We're going to need to plug in -3, -3 into our equation after I plug in 8/3, just like that. And we are going to solve. Plug in our values. We can see as we cross cancel these guys right here, turn into -1. Let's use a different color so it pops out. Let's put -1. So 8 times -1 gets me that -8 plus b. I got to add the 8. What I do to one side, I have to do to the other. My b is +5. We rewrite the equation. Y equals 8/3x plus b, plus 5. We just solved for b. Done. Let's do one more. Put a line in between. First and foremost, m equals -3/2, but I want the perpendicular slope, which is going to be 2/3. We then plug it into y equals mx plus b. Y equals 2/3x plus b. And we use the point 0, -4 to plug in. -4 is equal to y. 2/3 times 0 plus b. -4 is equal to b since that is equal to 0. Rewrite y equals 2/3x minus 4. And there you go. That is how you write linear equations in y equals mx plus b form when you want slope parallel or perpendicular to an additional line. We will go over graphing these as well in another video. Thank you.